I hope traders and investors alike were green yesterday. Starting Friday, we were starting to talk about looking for a pullback in the market. This weekend's video, we mentioned in the Discord, I mentioned several times that we were expecting a market-wide pullback coming into this week. That is exactly what we got. This is AMC down big, gap down yesterday morning. Down huge there. Would not be surprised to see a bounce after a big pullback like that, but you have a big gap there to fill. I don't mean a bounce all the way back up, but we could see a move back to the upside. Put the call ratio, we are 108, which is bearish. Yesterday we were 101, so we're just moving deeper into the bearish zone, telling us that that's telling us is the big market players are hedging their positions. Just a lot of put activity coming in. And a lot of hedging going on. The NASDAQ, the oscillators for the NASDAQ, negative 222. So we went from being over, most of this year we have been in the over bought area. So now we're finally getting back into the oversold area. So the market's showing some signs right now of a lot of selling. We're seeing the New York Stock Exchange is at 198. Same thing. It's down here in the oversold area. So, it's a little different than what we've been looking for, and we'll talk about maybe what we can see in the charts when we start getting to them. So the S&P 500 right into the 50, the big resistance area. We've talked about this, talked about the videos, talked about it in Discord, even talked about it in the Facebook group. This is a big resistance area. We're pulling back here. But naturally, you push up, you pull back, you push up. That's what I'm hoping to see is a pullback, reset the indicators, and then a push back up. But time will tell either way. We're playing the daily opportunity, so we'll make money on a daily basis. The U.S. dollar here pushing up should be no surprise. That's exactly what we've been expecting. Started calling for that last week. VIX finally out of this channel here, gapped up into the 200. You have your 200 and your 50 right there. So that's playable with UVXY. Looking at the chart yesterday, UVXY is not quite moving the same as I've been expecting. So there was days that we were gapping up and then pulling back. Just the opposite. We gapped up and then continued to push into yesterday. Crude. I would love to see crude break out of this downtrend here. So we are still under the 9, still inside of this downtrend. Natural gas, we got the breakout we were looking for. We got this cup and handle. We have broken out of this area. We need today's candle to open up above this resistance line, and we should see be able to play our natural gas stocks. This is our trend chart. So our short-term trend, which was bearish, turned bullish. Now it's right on the edge, trying to turn back bearish. The medium-term trend turned bullish, is still telling us bullish. The long-term trend is bearish. Apple, we had this big run. We broke below the 9, so we're expecting a pullback to the 20 here. If we lose the 20, watch for the 200. I would not be surprised to see it eventually pull back at least to this 200 here. Had a big run, like I say, same thing. Push up, needing a pullback, resetting everything, then hopefully we can see another push up. I'm really hoping that we don't pull back to new all-time lows or anything. Yesterday, AMD, we talked about this. It's rough, but it's rounded top, but it has this little arch here, so this makes it an inverted cup and handle. And it's a bearish reversal pattern, and so we were in this uptrend. We're getting a bearish reversal pattern, and we moved to the downside. We opened up below the 20. Exactly what we were looking for was open up below the 20 and got a move down. AMD weekly chart, pulling back here. See if we can hold the 9 and the 20 here for support on the weekly. Affirm, we got below this area of support here, which is now resistance, below the 9 and 20. Still expecting a move down. But we could easily see, like I say, we're oversold now. So some of these assets may be trying to push up just into the resistance level for a retest of the resistance level. to cool off the oscillators a little bit. We can still move lower. Those oscillators, you know, screaming at 222. We can move lower, so it's not time to go in and buy calls just because of that. But that is a sign. So AA, you know, we were looking to get under this support area here, and that's exactly what happened. So we're below the 20. Watch her move down to the 50 here. I mean, overall, we're still looking at the market in a bearish, with a bearish light. Just with those oscillators being oversold, we could get a pushback up. Basically, just to put in a little flag up to a resistance level to push back up, retest resistance for the next move down. So Amazon, you can see it's had a rough last 2 days, but it's exactly what we've been calling for was, you know, moves to the downside. Amazon weekly chart, you know, I would look for a move to the 200 there on the weekly possible. AMC, you can see the big gap down. That's intraday. AMD, another, you know, 2 days big down move here. Yesterday wasn't as big of a move as it actually looks on the daily chart. We did pull back and then we kind of chopped around there. So that was a choppy one, very, very tight. Amazon, you know, we were looking to pull back yesterday and we literally gapped down below the 20. So watching the 20 today, watching to see where we open up. Now we could go back and retest this 20 before pulling back down. Overall, we are bearish on the market. But that doesn't mean we're going to pull straight back. But you look at your MACDs rolling here on your daily chart. You know, once again, we're talking about rounded tops on all these charts. You can get a roundish top there. Apple, you know, it's pulling back. Looks like it had a gap. Tried to fill some of the gap yesterday. Apple's weekly chart. This is still a really nice looking chart, but you can see the signal right there. You can see the little gravestone doji. It's telling you, hey, the bulls are running out of steam. We could use just a pullback to reset. Once again, hopefully, you know, we pushed up, pull back, maybe a retest here in the 50 area, and then continue higher. That's what we're hoping for. Doesn't mean we could get new lows out of this. You never know, but we're going to take it by a day-by-day basis and make money on a daily basis. So we were closed under the 9, and like we split the 20 on Friday, but below. So we did end up gapping right down into the support area, which we actually talked about the support area here in the last video. You know, that's where you could find support. That's exactly what happened. Bitcoin weekly chart, we're back under this 9 here with a little dragonfly down there trading pretty flat. Bitcoin's daily chart, seeing this arch right here, moving averages come down. It looks like we're going to take another leg lower. It's exactly what it looks like. Boeing, you can see the pullback here. You can see the, you know, where we gapped down yesterday morning, but overall it's pretty choppy yesterday. That kind of action will chew your expirations up if you're trading short term. You got this cup and handle on Chewy, formed a rounded top back below the support area. This is Friday's move. We called that. We were expecting a move down Friday. We got that. Expecting a move down yesterday. Watch for support here at this 50. We could hit this 50, bounce back up, retest this area, and then pull back down. So today we could see a retesting type move is what I'm warning about, and we can make money with it. So energy, Chevron up here in pre-market. ExxonMobil up here in pre-market. So energy's looking good in pre-market right now. GME down below this 200 here. It's hard to call what those stocks are going to do right now. Google, this rounded top. Remember we did a bearish flow video a few weeks ago that with a $4.3 million order that they had bought some time on. They're possibly starting to make money right now. So we took the 9 out. Friday we gapped down, took the 20 out. So now the area to watch is the 50. Like I say, we could push back up to retest the 20 before pulling back down. So we just need to be careful today. The Qs below the 9 and 20. Watch for a move down into the support level here. Look at your MACD crossing. The Q's 15-minute chart, you can see it's actually trying to push up in pre-market right into your 15-minute 50. See how that holds. The Q's weekly, pushing up, same thing, looking for a pullback, and hopefully we can get a push up after pulling back and resetting some of these indicators. We just don't go straight up. So hopefully this is what will happen. We push up, pull back, then go up for the next leg. So watch for a pullback on the weekly chart. We could come back to the 20 and 50 here. I'm sorry, the 20 and 9. That's your 50 up there. Your 20 and 9 on your weekly. Bonds, we are pulling back here. So bonds being weak, dollar being strong, all that makes the dollar or the market weaker. IWM into the 50-day here, or the 50 weekly resistance area we were watching for. So these are areas that we continued, to point out time after time. So it should be no surprise that the market's pulling back here to anybody. Your MACD's crossing. You should have been ready to take. If you had longs, you should have been looking to take profits already. You should probably be out of them already, looking for getting reset to take your next position. IWM, we took the 200 out, ended up getting back below it. Bad sign when we failed there. Below the 9 here, actually gapped down yesterday below the 20. So we gapped down. Yet that gap down yesterday actually come a little quicker than brought us down a little farther than what I was expecting. I would have preferred to have been able to trade that move instead of just gapping. Mara, we had this flag here. We broke out of it, pushed up. But now that's just a small rounded top back below the resistance area, which was support. Now it's resistance. Your moving averages are turning over. I don't have a MACD on this chart. Could possibly see a retest of that resistance area today. Meta just looking rough here, rolling back over. We've not been super bullish on Meta. Meta's give us some good runs, but we've not been super bullish on it. This right here, look, top. So not only do you have a rounded top there, or a double top, you have a rounded top. You also have a double top there as well. Meta's 15. Microsoft, you can see the roundedness in its top. We talked about it, looking for a pullback. So the next move here, would possibly be pulling back to the 50. My only thing is staying below this 20 will be critical as well, because that's your mean. You get below the 20, you would expect a move down. But that's what we're expecting, is a move down. So, we could be pulling back to the 50s. I just would not be surprised to see a push to get them oscillators to cool off. And I don't mean a push back up to highs. I mean literally just a push into a resistance level, retest the previous fail, the previous resistance level, and then pull back again. Netflix, you can see the rounded top there as well, below the 20. NVIDIA, same thing, top. Not only did you have a rounded top into resistance, a double top at a resistance level. So we failed. We're back to the 20. I can easily see, or back to the 50 here. I can easily see this pushing back up to retest your moving averages for the next move down. The MACD on this one is not crazy cross like some of them, but it's actually weaker than the market. You can see this is the market. You can see it's trading weaker than the market. So the thing there is to watch the 50 today. If we open up below that 50, if we get below that 50, watch the 50 for a support area. We could bounce at the 50. We know we are oversold here in the market, so we could see just a short-term push back up to test previous resistance levels that we are under. Oxy up, so we know energy's up in pre-market. That's one to watch today. Will be the energy names. Palantir, we were looking for a bearish move down on this and got 2 days. We called for it on Friday, got Friday's candle, yesterday's candle. So if you're playing the right strikes, and we talk about this, you should be making money. Palantir, you can see the downtrend. Not Chewy, this is PTON, Peloton. We were expecting a move back down and finding support here, and that's exactly what happened. The 20's coming up under. So watch this. If we can remain below this line, look for a move down to the 50. We get below that 20, look for a move down to the 50. We could see a bounce here back up to the 9 for the next move down as well. So this not so clear cut here. I am expecting a pullback in the market still, but we're not so clear. We could easily see a bounce coming up just to push back up in, like plug here can push back up just to test the previous resistance level, or test a 9. So we just could see just a small push up. I'm still expecting overall the market to come down. So you have real estate. Got the rounded top, breaking below the 9. Yesterday broke below the 20, still expecting a move down. Roblox, same thing. We said yesterday we possibly see a move down to the 50 here. We can easily see a push back up into the moving averages before we come down to the 50. And that's very possible by the oscillator screaming oversold. The S&P 500, a rounded top right into resistance level, move down. So breaking below the support area here, if we can hold below this, I would expect a move down to come down to possibly the 50. We're below the 20, so would easily see a move down to the 50 before the next move back up. What I'm watching for, like we've been saying, would be a push back up. So we're below this area. I could easily see a push back up into this resistance level before it decides to come back down. And can push as high back up as the 9 for the next move down. Salesforce, watch this 50 here for support. Like I say, we could push back up here before the next move down to come back down and take it out. We can easily push through that as well, but you can see it's already pushing up here a little in pre-market off of that 50, so we're actually pushing back up already. Like I say, we can easily see a moves back up to test previous levels here. So here's Snow sitting on the 50. Today, let's watch for if we could lose the 50, then we'll look for a bearish move. But we can easily see a move back up to the 20 before the next move down. SoFi as well, it's up a little bit here in pre-market. You got some people who are thinking, oh, let's come in, let's buy some dips. It's at a great price right now. Maybe not. Maybe not. Look at your moving averages rolling over. You have your MACD crossing there, but your 9 and 20s rolling over. You're under this level of support, which is now resistance that we talked about. You can easily see a push back up to retest it before the next move down. So today, the next couple of days may not be so cut and dry with where the market's going. We knew the market was pulling back. Now that we've gotten that move, we can easily see a push back up to come back down. So you have the diamond here. Looks like we're just below this support area, but it's on the 20. Look for a possible push up there just to retest and come back down to take the 20 out. We could just come down and go straight at the 20 and take it out as well. SPY weekly chart into the 50, same area we kept talking about. Now we're pulling back. SPY 200, this was the main level we were talking about, into the 200. Now we're pulling back. SPY up a little bit in pre-market. Square, it's pretty much the same thing. XLK into the 200, big area. Now we're pulling back. We can easily, so we're below the 20 here. We can easily push back up today, retest the 20 before moving down. Tesla, we did get under this 9 yesterday. Still flat there. That's the weekly. You can see the last 3 weeks have been flat. Here, we're back under the 9 and the 20, looking for a move down to the support area where we had this candle pattern. Easily see a move down to here. Tesla fairly flat yesterday, but it is up in pre-market. Twitter, there's a lot of issues going on there with court battles and stuff. But below the 9 there, watch for a move to the 50. Not really tradable in my opinion until it starts to get some movement to it. We were watching Uber for a pullback, and we got it. UNG was one of the things we were bullish on yesterday with natural gas. We got a decent run up with that. Union Pacific, it's even breaking down. Look for a move below this 200. If we get it, we get below this 200. Look for a pullback to the 20 here. MACD's trying to roll there as well, starting to get kind of a roundish top on that. UNG, pretty, closed yesterday on a dragonfly. Upstart, ran this rounded top area once again, below all the major moving averages. The banks, there is a big gap to fill here. Today we could push up to fill this gap before the next move down. Not sure where the banks are sitting right now. ExxonMobil, so we took out this like symmetrical triangle, holding the 9 here. See this wick, see that big tail? Hopefully we can see a push up on ExxonMobil today by energy being up. Back to our first chart. So that concludes our video for today. I hope this is helpful. Have a great day, everyone. Stay green, remain disciplined, and I'll see you in the trading room.